We all thought the Galaxy S10 camera was pretty great, but today I'm taking it up to a whole other level. This is going to be smartphone videography like you might have never seen before. So, this package you're seeing here is from a company called Beast Grip. I reached out to them about a couple of months ago saying that I wanted to build the most powerful smartphone camera ever. This is what they sent over. You've got the Beast Cage, which is this giant metal enclosure that allows you to mount lenses directly onto your smartphone. And then a whole bunch of smaller smartphone lenses, which surprised me in terms of build quality. But that's not the main event here. There are piles of really high quality camera gear here, but the most exciting and the most central part to this is the DOF adapter, which allows you to mount full frame camera lenses onto your phone. Alright, so using all of this stuff, we're actually going to build two separate camera rigs. The first is based off the iPhone XS Max, which is one of the best phones in terms of capturing HDR in video. And for this, we're just going to mount it inside the Beast Cage that is built for this phone, which lets you mount the DOF adapter and whichever full-frame camera lens you want to use, but also stuff like the action handle, which lets you get a better grip of the whole thing, because, as you can imagine, it's a little bit front-heavy. Secondly, the S10 Plus rig, and because there isn't a Beast Cage built for this phone, we're using something they called a Beast Grip Pro, kind of like a universal equivalent for all smartphones. And even though I was told all of this has been prioritized to work with iPhone better than it does for Android, the results that I got from this smartphone blew me away. But let's start with the iPhone rig first. So I took both rigs to central London to try and capture the hustle and bustle, the people, the cars, the traffic, and I think the results we got will probably impress you. The first thing you'll probably notice from the iPhone's footage is depth of field, the ability to focus on a closer object and to have that beautiful soft background blur with everything else. If you pay attention to the soft glow of lights in the background, it's well beyond what the smartphone itself could achieve, and in some cases I was getting this footage confused with footage from my $2,000 DSLR. One of the other advantages of using a lens like this is that you've got minute control over the focus, so you can have these really dramatic shots where you're pulling focus as the shot proceeds, so you can slowly draw attention from one part of the image to another. It also works pretty well in low light. There is noise, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. The XS Max actually keeps up pretty well with this full-frame camera gear. Now, Beast Grip has their own application, which is what I used for this, and it's basically full manual control over your phone. You've got all the standard stuff, control over exposure and ISO, but something that I find particularly useful is Focus Assist, which highlights in green whatever is in focus. This isn't a perfect setup. There are a couple of issues I noticed. The phone seems to have lost a bit of sharpness compared to without a lens, and specific to the iPhone, its heavy color processing can result in some weird looking background blur. Alright, let's move on to the S10 Plus rig, and to be honest, the minute I saw this footage coming out of the camera, I was instantly excited to share it with you. As before, the depth of field is fantastic, you've got really nice background blur, but what was super impressive is that even though we were now in low light, this phone handles that depth of field whilst keeping the subject pin sharp. I was shocked with how well this footage came out, and it goes some way to showing that the S10 hardware is really quite capable. Because of the way the lens fits over the phone, you do have to crop a little bit into the image, otherwise you get these weird black bars on the side. But nonetheless, because it's shooting at high 4K resolution, the resulting image is still very sharp. And that brings us to one of the main advantages of shooting with a smartphone. Color processing. This is shot with the Filmic Pro app, and straight out of the app, this is the footage. I haven't even touched it. The color grading here is cinema quality. Now, this S10 rig was also the perfect opportunity to test out the anamorphic lens. And for those of you who don't know, an anamorphic lens allows you to capture a lot more horizontal information. You get this super wide shot, and the way the lens is built brings a subtle visual flair to the end product. Again, straight unedited footage from the Filmic Pro app. So I've been considering turning this into a new series on the channel. When a new smartphone releases, we could completely deck it out, rig it up, and see what, at its maximum potential, it is capable of. Let me know if that's something you'd want to see, because I'm still debating the idea. As always, if you enjoyed the video, if you could smash that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.